Okay, here's your morning rundown here for dailynewscollective.com. The latest stories for this 6th of June, 2017. Again, a man was shot by police in front of the Notre Dame Cathedral after attacking police with a hammer. People are sheltering in place. The attack happened approximately around 5 p.m. French time. And as we may know from the attacks that have happened in London and in the past in Paris and Nice, that ISIS has issued a warning that they will be attacking France on a level that is far larger than what they have done in the past. This may be a reaction to the ongoing pressure in Raqqa in Syria, their main base, as Allied forces and U.S. military forces continue to put pressure on their stronghold. We're also learning that the third attacker in the London attack, according to The Guardian, was not an MI5 subject of interest, even though he had once said that he was going to be a terrorist and had made it very clear. According to John Henley of The Guardian, the third attacker, Youssef Zagba, said, "I'm going to be a terrorist." And 12 people have been arrested and released without charge and barking related to the attack in London over the weekend. Joe Rogan, according to the Daily Caller, has interviewed the professor at the center of the Evergreen College FLAP. The professor at the center of the Evergreen College FLAP sat down recently with Joe Rogan on his popular podcast to lament over how the regressive left is steadily consuming its allies on campus. Evergreen State College professor Ben Weinstein came under fire in late May when protesters demanded that white professors and students leave the campus for the day. Weinstein, who is white, refused to leave. Students surrounded him outside his classroom door and began shouting slogans and insults. They tagged him as a racist and demanded his dismissal. Bizarre developments. And also, Hugh Jackman has made the statement this morning that he will make no comments whatsoever on American politics. I mean, it's pretty much of a nothing story there, but when a reporter asked for his opinion about the Vietnam War protesters, he said, I'd just as soon keep my own personal views about that to myself. I'm just an entertainer. So one Hollywood celebrity with a lick of sense, as the rest of Hollywood is triggered and continues to endanger their careers, as we just saw with Kathy Griffin. President Duterte in the Philippines is calling for a wanted dead or alive process to take out ISIS, offering big money. The president of the Philippines wants 3 Islamic militant leaders dead or alive, and he's willing to pay a hefty sum to those to bring them down. Hundreds of militants with ties to the Islamic State are fighting Filipino troops in Marawi, a city in the southern Philippines. The gunmen are affiliated with the Maute Group and the Abu Sayyaf Group, 2 Islamic militant organizations loyal to ISIS. Their fighters carry the same black standard into battle. The military is now offering $410,000 for the neutralization of Abu Sayyaf leader Isnilon Hapilon and the Maute brothers, according to the International Business Times, and that put together by the Daily Caller. Again, you can find more updated news as it rolls in on dailynewscollective.com. Just go to dailynewscollective.com and click on feed. And Some of the bigger stories this week, of course, James Comey will be testifying in the Russia-Trump debacle, which Trump's sons have labeled a gigantic hoax, and by all accounts, it sure looks like a giant hoax. If you follow me and follow my reports, I detailed how all of the leaks, the quote-unquote leaks that have come out of the White House and into the hands of the Washington Post and the New York Times and other publications have all been pretty much unsubstantiated claims. And the folks that have been pushing the narrative, such as The Intercept, have now come under fire as Reality Winner, that's actually her name, has been outed as the most likely source to The Intercept and is now under investigation by the Department of Justice for revealing top secret classified information to The Intercept. And of course, Reality Winner has also been revealed to be a hardcore leftist liberal with a harsh stance against American values and the President of the United States. Trump is now weighing in, according to Al Jazeera, on the rift between Qatar and the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Trump weighs in on Qatar rift with Gulf neighbors. U.S. President Donald Trump has weighed in, saying his trip to the Middle East is already paying off in a series of posts on Twitter on Tuesday. During my recent trip to the Middle East, I stated there can no longer be funding of radical ideology. Leaders pointed to Qatar. Look, Trump said, so good to see the Saudi Arabia visit with a king in 50 countries is already paying off. They said they would take a hard line on funding extremism, and all reference was pointing to Qatar. Perhaps this will be the beginning of the end of the horror of terrorism. But, of course, a lot of us know that Saudi Arabia need only look in the mirror to find the true source of the funding of terrorism. Again, there was an attack in Paris at the Notre Dame Cathedral, and a unspecified man attacked a police officer with a hammer, and the police officer responded by shooting the man twice. Let's see if there are any more details on this incident. They're still investigating as a potential terror attack. They're asking members of the public to stay away. They neutralized him, according to the French police. One officer was lightly injured, and the assailant was shot in the thorax. There has been no immediate confirmation of his condition. So, we will return here on dailynewscollective.com later on in the day as stories develop. Again, you can find us at dailynewscollective.com. Just click on the feed button to find updated news as it happens. And I've been your host here, John Bound, for the Daily News Collective.